What's your dress code?
Like the brand and like then also the fashion rap too. Like how do you balance between both?
That shit just, I don't know, that shit is me. But it's just like life. Like whatever you gotta balance something in life.
Yep.
You just pick and choose.
Giving a little bit of compilation.
Yeah, it definitely was a compilation. It was just a put together. Like most of the music I'm dropping this year is like shit I've been supposed to got.
None of you rappers really flyer than me. You might buy more clothes, still ain't styling with me. See my last year's swagger was next year's move, boy. Wells bonded down on the smooth boy.
Hey yo, I hit him with the big Gucci track jacket, ape-head monogram sleeve. Fucking with me, nigga, please. Big box logo cream, now that's something to see. At the sight of the steez, your life it depletes, I'm appeased.
This cafe cake comes sweet like a pastry. Rick Owens shimmer like a mermaid in Haiti. Prada's color griot, my bitch look like T-Boz. All day I dream about style when rap Adidas.
Look.
What's up, you guys? Schondra here, the creator of Sneakvibing Media. You know what it is, Buffalo Radio at Trend Up. Shout out to Gio. We in the spot on Allen. It's a beautiful sunny day. And we got one of the biggest figures in Buffalo, New York, in fashion, art, music, culture, you name it. We got the one and only Billie Essco in the building.
Peace. How y'all doing?
What's up?
Peace.
What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah.
The sun's out. You feel me? God is the greatest.
That's dope.
How you doing?
Man. I'm feeling good. It's beautiful outside, and it's just dope to be around the culture, be around the people, you know?
Nah, that's a fact. You are always around. I will give you that. I appreciate that.
Man.
Somebody gotta be on the scene. You did.
You know?
Sneakvibing is on the
There's a lot
scene.
of cool stuff happening all the time.
Oh, listen, man.
But speaking of scene, I mean, you really been out on the scene, not just in Buffalo, but abroad, just in the culture and the hip hop scene. When artists come to Buffalo, they connect and reach out to you.
Yeah.
So you have a unique connection with the community, but also representing Buffalo when you're outside of Buffalo. So let the people know, if they don't know, who you are and then what you've been doing.
So I'm your cool cousin, Uptown Chase. You dig, Billie Essco, the man of many names, many hats. I make hats, and a bunch of other things. But yeah, man, we call it locally global. You feel me? It's like we trying to take Buffalo to the world, but then also bring the world to Buffalo. So it's kind of like it's a each one teach one situation. So I just am like one of the people that's like making sure we on the forefront with that whole mission and shit. But yeah, man, I've been doing a lot of things. I know people have been seeing a lot of different stuff. Yeah, man. But I'm more so excited right now of just like kind of like where Buffalo is as a whole. I'm very happy with like the fact that like, all right, I'm doing what I'm doing, but like people is getting what I'm doing, also doing something for themselves and for the community as well. So again, it's very important that like people see what I'm doing and take that and then do what they gotta do so things could keep getting done. So yeah, I'm happy for the town, man, for real.
I think that's a side effect of just doing great stuff, is that once you do it, people get inspired and want to do it too. Yeah. And then they add their own twist onto it, and then before you know it, that's what becomes culture. Yeah. Because a couple people do something, and then people get inspired by that and do their thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. That's how culture. You feel me? That's how you participate in culture. Yeah. You feel me? You give and you receive, and then you give and you receive, and you do it amongst a collective. You feel me? And then we all prosper.
It's a whole cycle. So I want to get into you as the artist, as the musician, as the rapper. What comes first for you? Do you think it is the visual and physical art, or do you think it's the music?
I don't know. It's kind of like how I be feeling. Honestly, like it's really, it be God. Like, you feel me? My team could attest to this. Like, I be having like these just it be one day I just get a thought like mad random, and then we going with it. So it kind of just goes like based on like a theme of something. Like, it's really an ideal. Like, if this ideal requires sound, we do it musically. If it's visually, we could do it through clothes or photo shoots or casting, like whatever to get the ideal across. But I always am trying to release music, but then other things is kind of like easier for me to put out. Music is very personal, so it's like I'm getting to a space again where I can release music more freely. But a lot of times it really be for like some sort of like, it's like my therapy. So
yeah,
you feel me? So yeah, but yeah, and so one doesn't come after the other. It's kind of just how I'm feeling. Like, we on this, I bet this go with this, and it just go. You feel me?
Yeah. Speaking of the music, I feel like the way you drop music is almost like journal entries.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like when I'm listening to your music.
Yeah.
Like I'm going through something, you're going through things, maybe not in exact order of what you did like in a month or something like that. And it also is like congruent with like a lot of your brand drops.
Yeah.
So you run Cafe, which is a super popular brand in the city, but it's growing abroad as well.
Yeah, facts.
Specifically with the caps, as you can see.
Yeah,
but
facts.
also the clothes and the garments. So is that intentional? Like how, the way you drop your albums close to like when you drop new garments?
So that's kind of, I guess, been like a new thing we've been implementing in the sense of being it consciously. But we all, it's just more so like, all right, I'm working on clothes. And in the process of working on clothes, I'm always listening to music. So, bam, I might get some music and then want to base something off of that. Or it just make more sense. Like, I got a bunch of shit that I'm about to drop. And it's like, oh, you know what? Let's hit them with everything because, you know, instead of just hitting them with one or the other, it's like. So, a lot of times, like, I'll be having things planned a bunch of different ways and it just comes together. Honestly, sometimes it comes together so crazy. Like the way even this whole last rollout, all these things were separate, but it just flowed together, you know, very nicely. So yeah, shout out to adaptability. You feel me?
That part.
You gotta know how to adapt straight up.
Sometimes you just gotta take a risk and drop something and see like how people receive it, you know?
Yeah, I come from which is like kind of like, it's not a detriment, but it is in this climate of music. Like, I come from the era like Ye and like Jigga, where it's like you drop an album every like year and a half, 2 years, because like that whole album is like a story. Like, if you listen to my albums and go through like my Instagram at that same time, like how you can see, every album matches my life because it's like subconsciously it's flowing into the music. Whether it's songs that I wrote that then after I wrote it, this shit happened, or vice versa. Like, some of it be like, it really happened exactly this way, and I was able to like articulate it. Because that's always something I've been trying to do. It's like rap more consciously about what's going on, but that's what ended up happening. Anyway, so it's just like, all right, now people get to see how layered it is, and yeah, that should be real. Like, all them raps, like, again, it's therapy, and like I was telling homie, I can't do anything that's not me. So my music, like, I learned from people who rapped about real life. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't do nothing else. It don't even feel right. And it'll be way easier to just pop shit about like Bentleys and this and that. Them shit rhyme with everything. So it's easy to rap like that. Like, that's the easiest shit. Like, but at the same time, like, that's not where I'm like, I want to give you that feeling. So like, even on the last project, the brown leather seats, it's like, okay, now I'm really in the Maybach. I'm really on a PJ. Now I can actually give you the feeling instead of just rhyming about that shit. Like it's easy to do that, but it's like that's not. I'd rather be me than do it easy. You feel me? Like I'm trying to push that more than anything. Like be yourself. And that might not be the easiest thing. You feel me?
It's never the easy route when you're yourself, but it's worth it.
That's
it's the most purposeful route, you know, and the most rewarding once you get to where you need to go.
That's a fact. You know? That's a big
fact.
But
speaking of that, like you talk about the music, and like earlier I said, it feels like journal entries. I think it is important for you to be authentic, and I think that's why people are attracted to your brand and your music, because it is very authentic. You know, I feel like you take us on a journey. And, you know, being a Buffalo kid, being from Buffalo, your perspective aligns with a lot of people of how they would feel first time.
Right,
something.
Right, exactly.
So that just makes it more worth it, and you connect with it.
No, I appreciate that.
But speaking of the music, let's get into the music. So you dropped We're on the Road with Billie Esco 2, Brown and Blue, right?
Yep.
And then you dropped the Cream tape with this dope Canadian rapper named The Sixth Letter.
Yep. Shout out to my boy Raz Fresco. He produced the whole thing. Baker's Club.
Production crazy.
Yeah.
It's giving very much nerd vibe.
Oh yeah, no, that's what it was about. Yeah. That's what it's about.
You had a what was the song? It was 5 a.m. something.
Oh, you talking about?
Oh, 05, baby.
Oh, 05. Yeah.
That was giving such nerd, like 2003 vibes. I was like, yo, this is fire.
Let's go. I'm a monk in camouflage, sitting in the Japanese garden, getting a hand massage. Baby in that Milo button down, looking like Milan, puffing that Magic Dragon. Baby wanna ride along.
What was that process like, creating that?
Man, that shit was dope. Shout out to them boys. So long story short, like Raz Fresco is like a well-established artist in the underground hip-hop scene. And I was always familiar with him since like shorties. He used to be under Raekwon and a couple other people like up there.
Wow.
Yeah, facts. So he you feel he's an underground legend. He a little bit younger, but he an OG in it. And then Six is one of the biggest vape collectors in the world. Like low key, high key. Like the man don't wear nothing Nego didn't make, like ever.
Wow.
Like on a daily basis, every single day he wears something Nego made. So like I always heard about him through my boy Black Zach. And man, just like we end up leaking over the net, shit like that, talking, and then Raz was about to go away for a minute, so I went to go pull up on him. And when I pulled up, we ended up cutting a record like that same day. And it was just like a vibe. Like it was like, all right, this a vibe. And then he ended up coming home earlier than expected. So it was like, oh shit, I'm gonna just come back and just come back. So man, I pulled up again. We recorded like 2 more.
Is Raz also from Canada?
Yeah, they both from Toronto. And the funny part is Six from Toronto, but his pops from Brooklyn. And like my pops is like West African, but lives in Toronto. You feel me? So it's kind of that dual citizenship vibe. Like, oh, we both been in the States. We both been in Toronto. We got a similar vibe. Like Raz is like my boy Jay Skis. Like they got a similar vibe. So it just matched. Like, it was all shit. Like you cool as hell. Like you feel me? So then we end up locking in, doing a couple more records, and then like the reason why it was like that whole vibe is like, all right, this is one person who really understands. Like I do everything with Cafe based on how Nego did Bape. You feel me? Like if you really study like how he did it, like even pre coming to America, like Bape was out 10 years before he even got to America.
Wow.
You feel me? So it had a whole lifespan of his own. And when it came to America, it already had its own cafes, record labels, barbershops, studios, clothes for days, like Pepsi, all type of shit. And it was like, oh, this whole world. That's kind of what I'm building. Whereas like when you see it, when you peel back the layers, it's like, oh shit, he do this, he got that, this, that. It's the same vibe. And with him, he being a collector, it's like, yo, he got all the pieces that niggas talk about. You feel me? So it's just like, oh, we really fly with this shit. Like at the end of the day, I love clothes just to be fly. Like before it was anything else, it was just like shit. we from where we from. That was a social currency. It's like the way you dress was like a language. So it's kind of like that's just engraved in us. And you feel me? The 6 letters stand for F. F is for fresh. So it's like, oh no, this shit is in us. Like, what are you talking about? So when we went, we just kept doing records, and it was like, oh shit, nah, this is fire. And then yeah, we just kept building. I mean, the documentary that's about to drop, it'll show you all of that. But it was like, I'm going up there to see my pops, my family up there. At the same time, I go to the studio, we knock out records, and we just keep knocking shit out. And it's like, oh, nah. So we was going to initially drop it around like October, November. And then we end up just like, all right, you know what? We going to go full throttle in 2024. And then just over time, we start building more. So we we got a lot. Look at the people. Hey, lit. Shout out to the people. So it's like
Allentown for you.
yeah, nah, for real. That's how it's supposed to be. And that's kind of what the music is. Like it bring people out. Like Where in the World was literally me in my spot, in my space. So it was like that whole process was like the whole concept, that's why it's called Brown and Blue. Like the whole concept is like, all right, I'm in the world all the time. Everybody asking where I'm at. I be in the world and then I be in the crib. And it's like, but when I'm there, you feel me? It's like, it'd be a whole nother world. So that was kind of like bringing people into that world and then also coming back into the world. That's why like the last song, like the whole shit be like my life. So it's the same shit. So it's like the last song of the album is like coming out. You feel me? That's why I got 3 different parts to it and shit like that. So it's just like, you know, that'd be the process. So with the Cream tape, it sound like the spring. It's like getting ready for the summer. You getting ready to get fly again. Like you get to wear the shoes that you couldn't because it was muddy out, or you get to wear the brighter colors now, shit like that. So,
and it sounds like y'all had fun.
Yeah, I think
that's important too. Like when you listen to a tape, you want to feel like the artist is engaged, and you could tell y'all really had fun and y'all bounce off of each other really well. Yeah, you know. Yeah, so it was dope. And y'all, and the track y'all did with Jay Skis.
Yeah, facts, because he was
crazy.
Yeah, that joint was stupid. I was listening to hella Max B that week, so like that and Japanese Fabrics.
Oh my god.
That's why it's like that, because I was like hella Max B. But yeah, Skis was up there one day. I'm like, shit, pull up. Like, you gotta meet these dudes. You feel me? Because I've been kicking it so much up there with them. It's like, yo, you gotta meet the homies now. Like, y'all the homies. At first, it was just like showing love, pulling up, acquaintances. Then it was like, oh, this dope. It's familiar. And then by the 3rd time I was up there, it's like, shit, like, we cooler. And it was dope because it was like, Raz is very militant. And like, his multitasking skills is on another level. Like he really can lend his attentiveness to a bunch of things at once and be focused. So it was dope to see that and you know, cutting 3-4 records in a night. Cause again, a lot of times I record, I be me the engineer, I be in LA. You feel me? It'd be a different process. So it was a minute since and then Ski's been on the road so long that it's been a minute since I've been locked in with another artist outside of myself. So it was easier. Like, okay, I could just rap. Like, I don't gotta be so headstrong on like this whole heady concept. You feel me? So it was I enjoyed it. And like my boy Harvy Dentist, he's from up there too. He did the cover and like he hand drew it. Like he's in the studio while and he just drawing this shit. I mean, that was like our whole childhood. Dragon Ball Z, Lil Wayne, Carter 2 era. You feel me? Nego, Bait, Pharrell. So it's just like, and then we even like the song you said, the 05 Baby Milo Camo. That was like one of the second records. So we cut a record. I came back. Then the day he came back, he called me. So he like, yo, I just went to the record store. I found this Fam Lay record. Now Fam Lay is like an underground legend. Like he one of the GOATs. So it's like, yeah, let's pay homage. Like this is perfect. So we end up doing that record. And then that kind of set the tone. Like, oh no, this some jiggy shit.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the
that like that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that
okay.
set the tone.
Sure.
Yeah, that set the tone for the whole project. And it was blessed is that I ended up meeting family in Paris and shit. And then was able to like send him the record, you know, get his blessing and shit like that. So that was dope full circle. Cause the skit before it is like family rapping the famous rock and roll song like Pharrell eating a cereal bowl like in the projects. Like that's just like iconic imagery. And it's like for me, I'm bringing that back for like the young kids. You feel me? Like they gotta see where it came from.
It definitely feels nostalgic. Like even though I'm probably not well versed in everything, you know, when it comes to like designers and also certain underground rappers, but you feel the nostalgia.
Yeah.
From the cover to the music, the way the music sounds, the production is just like
that's
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
I love almost every production on this track.
Appreciate that.
Which sometimes I can be difficult sometimes when it comes to that, but I love it.
That's good. Thank you for that.
One thing I wanted to talk about too is like, how would you describe your sound? Because you have these like, you'll have these like luxury decadent bars, but then you'll also have that street sound comes into that naturally just Buffalo rappers have.
Right.
So it's like an integration of that. Is there a definition that you could give to your sound, or does it change?
I met my boy Musa. That's my man's. He coined it aesthetic raps. So it's like I rap aesthetically. A lot of people are now saying fashion rap, which I'm not like opposed to that either. It sounds cool. Yeah. To me, it was always like I just like a hybrid because I like different shit. And like I was telling bro, like so I've been making music since 2005, and like with like records back then, I'm rapping about fashion. Like I'm rapping about Prada, and like that's why I talk about Prada so much. I know my boy, you know, the fly trying to be around the fly. He trying to see who flyer, but I am, fam. Nah, but yeah, like it's always been about the fly shit. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm like I can't be so pretentious to not speak about reality like that. That'll be just. And I try to balance it, and I guess like subconsciously I found that balance. Consciously, I still don't think I've reached like the peak of like where I can go verbally, and what I'm saying. But I'm getting to a place where like I can articulate some shit now. You feel me? But I'm always, we always talk. The one thing my cousin Cam was like, yo, no matter what, they want that fly shit. You know, so it's like, man, listen, that's what we do.
I think you're a beacon for that, and I think it's necessary, you know, for Buffalo. I think it's necessary for a lot of people to see. So,
facts.
But I do appreciate the fact that you consider, you know, consciously that way. I want to make sure I balance like reality and things like that. And actually, all your raps are your reality.
You feel me? So, it's real life. And when you when you meet me, then you really see like, oh shit, he not lying. Like none of this shit. So it just make you appreciate it more. And on top of that, it's like, all right, everybody like talks about. I learned about Prada and Dolce & Gabbana from Lil Wayne. You feel me? So everybody learns through rap. So it's like, all right, when I talk about these things, that's why I describe it the way, or I articulate it a certain way, so like people can understand like what it is, instead of like, all right, I used to hear about Margiela all the time, and I'm like, who the fuck is Margiela? Because I buy his stuff, and I found out about Margiela. It's like, yo, you one of the illest dudes ever, just period. Not even on fashion, just a mentality standpoint. And I'm like, oh, this sound like rappers, or this sound like people I know. And it's just like, oh, okay, this is why Rick Owens is Rick Owens. This is why Raph is Raph. And then you start appreciating it more. So when I rap about it, it's also to like tell people, kind of regulate it, so it's not like this whole, oh my God thing. You can see the reality in that shit. You feel me? And
there's
appreciate
some education in that too.
Yeah.
You dropping ones that I'm like, wait, hold on, let me look with that.
Yeah, you feel me?
Really
Get your
quick.
Googles, man. We want you to get flyer in these streets. And it's not that hard. You can find a lot of shit on sale, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't gotta be rich and you don't gotta spend a lot of
And
money.
everybody's thrifting. That's like
Yeah, you just
some
find,
pieces, too.
you just gotta have taste and grace. You feel me? That's all. Taste and grace.
Yeah. So I got 2 more questions for you. The first one is, you collaborate a lot, and not just like in music, but with your fashion and your garment brand as well. Like you did something with Quaker Boy. You recently did something with Cash Only.
Yup. Cash only. Yup.
And for you to collaborate so much, you must be a great collaborator. Or maybe you have a certain approach and strategy you go by with collaborating. Is it just like relationships that develop over time, or is it like you're intentional about, I want to connect with this person?
It's all about the connection. First, it's always start with the connection. And it's just like, again, that's just my thing. Like, just connecting people together to do something. Because it's like, I could do all this, like, but what's the point? You feel me? And then it just gives people, like, a larger platform. So I am intentional with who I do work with. But at the same time, like, I just approach it from a relationship standpoint. Like, I won't do, like, it's seldom that I do something with a person I don't know at all, just because I don't know how you're gonna interpret certain things. Right. So it's just like, you feel me? You just gotta just get to know people to see if it even a fit. At the same time, if we have a relationship and I see it's like worth doing and it makes sense, then it's like, yeah, let's do it. Because again, I'm in this position that not a lot of people have ever been in. You feel me? From here or from anywhere. So it's like, all right, I know that, let me do right by it. Because it's like, shit, it's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that really don't care because they busy doing it for themselves, which is cool. Like, but I always was kind of like a you first type. Like, I'm selfless in a lot of ways. Like, I could be selfish in ways, but when it comes to like building a community, it's like, nah, bro, it's about the program. It ain't about just me. So I'm gonna always try to like reach out to people and help however I can, when I can, how I can. And yeah, my brand, we building a cafe. So before we do the physical cafe, it's like this is the community. You know what I mean? Like, when you put on a hat, you at the cafe. You dig? So it's like, you may not know people at the, but you meet people there. And then that's where the community come in, and you like, oh shit, you got cafe on too. It's a conversation. You might really know me, or you might just be a fan, or you might not know who I am, and you might just be like, oh shit, I like the hat, I got the hat. Like, some people do not know who I am, and that's cool. I like that. Like, I'm not pressed to always be in the face. You know what I mean? That's why we got the billboard with like Jessica, because it's like they like, you don't want to put you on there? I'm like, nah. Like, put Jess up. Like, she is me. Like, if you see her, you like, and so it's just like, it makes sense to just be like, nah, this for the people. So that's why cafe is what it is, because like, I'm intentional about the community I built. And I feel like that just started early on. Like, all right, we been making music, we been doing shit, and it was like, before bro and them got to where they was at, this shit was like spooky for everybody. Like, it was no silver lining to like, how we gonna make this work? How we even gonna be heard? So for me, I always was like intentional with the people here, because a lot of people can't fit into the one narrative of Buffalo. So it's like, it gotta be other. You feel me? It gotta be other shit that people know, like, oh shit, I can do it too. I don't gotta just be that. But I'm happy that came first, because it put like real respect. Like, you go anywhere in the world now, I'll be like, oh, you from Buffalo? Like, they know at least like we some real people. Yeah. And that's like a lot. That's your currency. You feel me? Your social currency. So yeah, man, like, I'm always try to keep doing what I can for the people. You feel me? That's why I even hit you up, like, yo, let's do this, because it's like, you always around, like, getting the word out. So, and I learned shit from you. Like, I be seeing, like the artists you post and stuff, and I be like, damn, I don't even know these people from Buffalo. And I'm supposed to be the one that's, like, know everybody from the town. So, you be putting me on, I'm like, damn, I got to reach out to this person. Like, who is this? Because it's important that, like, all right, I know who I am because I work for where I'm at. At the same time, it is not, like, I don't expect nobody to just take me for that. Right. Like, you should, because I am that. But at the same time, like, if you don't, that's cool. Yeah. So I appreciate anybody or everybody that respect me or show me some type of, like, support, love, respect, because, like, it's not warranted. You feel me? Like, it's up to you to do that. So I appreciate that. And from that, it's like, I bet, what can I do to, you know, give back, show people, like, bro, you could do this shit too. You might not be able to do what I do. Like, you might not be able to just get what I got or something like that. But you could do what you can for yourself and really, like, do something. There's a lot of people doing something. So, shout out to everybody. Like,
shout out to everybody that's doing something.
Yeah, you know? Buffalo is like...
we DIY, but we do it in such a unique and lavish way.
Yeah, we like designer hippies. That's what we're saying to people. Yeah. Like, we like designer hippies.
You know, that's a stroke of genius, too. I think that's a stroke of genius with your brand. One thing you said, too, which I can understand why fashion is so significant. Because if I see somebody with a cafe hat, I almost feel immediately like they're like Ken. Or like, okay, I'm in a good place. Like, you know, okay, I'm in a good spot. Because if there are people with cafe hats on, you know they're aware of the culture, somewhat involved in the culture, or supporting it.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a dope signifier for Buffalo in itself.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. It really put the shit, like, it put Buffalo on the map, because people be calling me like, oh, I seen somebody, you know, ask them, like, are you from Buffalo? A lot of times they do be. But then some people don't, or they'll just know about Buffalo. So it's like, it's dope that, like, my brand is also, it's recognizable around the world, but it's like, it's distinguishedly Buffalo. Yeah. Distinguished. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, like, it's definitely like Buffalo in this whole. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that, like, help, you know, make that a thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Buffalo, man. Shout out to the community. Shout out to hip-hop, music, art, culture. Last question. The fashion scene is taking off crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
The music scene is still continuing to reach new borders.
Yeah.
Like, what is your perspective of Buffalo's community right now, and where do you think we'll be, like, 5 years from now?
Man, I think it's dope. I really appreciate how people is, like, organizing things. You know, like, coming up, we had a lot of events, but at the same time, like, it was fire in between. So I respect the fact that they even, like, getting these venues, they getting sponsorships, they understanding, like, how to bridge things together. So I think, you know, this was, like, the first year that ever happened. So I think that over time, with knowledge, like, as long as they do the knowledge, and they continue to grow and not think that they, like, hit the pinnacle, if they can still be innovative in themselves, I think that will, like, really push, because, I mean, you getting a lot of people that didn't know Buffalo was this talented to understand. So I think, you know, that's a fact. I think ultimately we just keep pushing forward, and then everybody continue to support each other. And yeah, just don't, like, make it, like, cliquish. That'd be the downfall of anything. It just be like too much. Like, you gotta, like, nobody's bigger than the program. I'm not bigger than the program. No one's bigger than the program. So just, if you do it for the program, then we all will grow, because everybody is doing something different that's like, oh shit, you know. And then just keep getting better in your craft of being a designer, like really doing the 10,000 hours, the 20,000 hours, like really studying this, because it's very accessible now to do a lot of things, which is good. but it's also like you have to like know you gotta put the work in to be skilled. You know, it really takes like you gotta really, you feel me, train. Like you can't just do it and just be like, oh, I'm doing it. That's cool, but when you really want to be innovative, that's when it comes to really do the knowledge and do the work. So yeah, I just encourage people to continue to do what they've been doing, and making sure that we stay a community. That's like the biggest thing, like making sure that everybody stay together, because we doing this for us. Like we control our city, as opposed to other, you go to New York City, they gonna bring shit there that's just there, like, and they get to participate. LA, you can participate in LA. In Buffalo, you have to create your own fun. So it's like, it is up to us to make sure that we continue to have fun and we continue to grow. And I mean, yeah, we working on some stuff for the summer, some cafe events to like really, you know, put action to word. CafeSeason.com.
Shout out to Gio, we in Trend Up right now.
You did. He definitely got a cafe on deck, so come through and get him. You feel me? Come through and get him.
95 Allen.
Dig on everything for weeds. And yeah, man.
Appreciate you. Wise words from one of the dopest, illest creators, artists in Buffalo, New York. Thank you, Billie Essco, for coming through. It's Buffalo Radio, Sneakvibing Media. We at Trend Up. Shout out Gio. Shout out Economic Productions. Ito on the building. Shout out Malika. Shout out Jay, Alicia, everybody behind the scenes.
Yes,
We
sir.
out. Peace.
Bless.